Hi, I'm Ted. Come photograph with me. Today we're going to be looking at water bugs, which are little tiny bugs that walk on the top of water. And we're going to be photographing them with a high-speed phantom camera and special material which polarizes their motion. So it's a way of visualizing fluid dynamics. It happens to be a rheoscopic fluid, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that company. But we have to do a very special setup to be able to image the polarized light that is made as the insects move on the surface of the water. So from these measurements, we can figure out how fast the insects are moving and a little bit about their mechanisms of how they navigate on top of the water. So let's check out the system and see what's going on. A diffuser here that's on this top piece of glass. And this is a polarization sheet, and this polarization sheet polarizes the light that's coming down to this surface. So that diffuses it and makes the field even. Underneath this is a little sheet of glass that I use here to keep the insects from flying away. And then we get into this little special built aquarium, which has about 1 centimeter of the polarization fluid in there. You really don't want to use a lot of that fluid because it's very expensive. And then there's a mirror here that reflects that polarized light to the camera, and there's a polarizer on the front of the lens. And today I'm using a 90 millimeter Tamron lens, and I'm going to be shooting not a lot of light, so I'm at f2.5. I'll also be shooting in the largest format that the phantom camera shoots at, so that will allow me to collect a very large picture for doing measurements. The insects don't move that fast, so I'll be shooting approximately 1400 frames per second. So that's the setup. I'll show you what it looks like when you pull a little stick through that water, and in any motion in that water is displayed as changes in the polarization. So it can be very colorful and very pretty way to show fluid dynamics. So at this point, we're looking into the system with the illumination, but we don't have the polarizer on the front of the camera yet, and I'm just going to tape one on here. And when I do, I'm going to bring it around so that it kind of covers up about half the polarization field. And the idea here is I'm going to focus in on this little stick that's there, which is placed there to help me focus in this tray as I can move that stick around. Now the fun part is when I start pouring in the polarization fluid, you can see all the crazy effects that take place. And this fluid is a material that just aligns itself with the flow patterns. And it's little tiny platelets of silica, and I can just pull that stick around, and you can see that the flow pattern is easily visualized. So we're going to use this material with the insects, and hopefully we can see them all shoot every which way, and it's really neat stuff. Unfortunately, this is about $500 a gallon, so I have to be very careful about using it, and also it has to be recycled and cleaned up when I'm all done. And now we can move that around, and you can see that that fluid does all sorts of really cool stuff. And the name of the fluid, by the way, is Multicolor Rheoscopic Fluid, and it's by Laminar Science Corp. So you can find them around on the web. So the Whirligig beetles are a pretty old species. They date back to the Jurassic. And when we look at them close up, here's the up-facing eyes with a 2x view. And these eyes are adjusted to see in the sunshine or in the air. They also detect some sort of polarization, I think, with either in the sky or looking at water polarization for detecting where there might be water to live. On the right side of the frame, you can see a little bit of the pad, the top part of the pad, which is responsible for staying on the surface. The hind legs do most of the pushing, and we'll see that in the high-speed videos. Here's a side view. It's pretty clear to see the top-facing eyes, which are responsible for detecting predators from the air, and the bottom-facing eyes, which are responsible for looking for predators from underwater. And keep in mind that these insects also swim underwater, so they've got some pretty odd brain stuff going on. Here's the bottom view. You can see those navigation pads in the front for staying on top of the surface of the water. When you look closely at the exoskeleton of this animal, you can see there's a lot of scratches, which is an indication that this insect lives more than 1 year. And I'm not exactly certain how long they live, but some of the literature says they live from 2 to 3 years. But I do see these in the creek. As soon as the waters defrost, these insects are there, and I will see them late into the fall, fully developed adults. So I know they're doing something interesting, just not sure what. Okay, away we go. The memory has been cleared. We're going to turn on the overhead light. And the beauty of this is when we turn on this overhead light, the bugs just kind of start running around every which way. And we have to see if we can get one to kind of run right across the screen. And it looks like that's a good candidate. I'm also going to bring, oh, look at that one. Definitely, that is a keeper. So I just trigger the camera. It'll be a couple seconds before that buffer is filled up and ready for the next shot. And so now I have to wait more time for these little guys to run across the screen. And I can see them run across the screen over here and then trigger the camera. But it's basically a waiting game. Are they going to go or not? Maybe I can blow on them and convince them to go do something. Here's one thinking of it. He's just, oh, that's a good one. No, no, oh, 2. Are they going to go? We don't, oh, that's a good one. Oh, he circles back around. So it's just, you know, trial and error. Are they going to go or not? I've got 4 shots that I can put in memory. And right now I'm just waiting for one to shoot right across the center of the screen. So that's what nature photography is all about sometimes. So in photo shoots like this, you really have to have a lot of patience, because right now I've been doing this for about 4 hours, and each time you do a shot, you have to wait for about 8 to 10 minutes to save that clip. So I'll do some photographs and then I have to save the data, and I hope that the bugs are okay in between. So I can't really corral these insects around because they're so small and delicate, so I pretty much have to wait until they shoot across in front of the camera, and then I can do a trigger. So I hit the trigger and it records a number of frames before I hit the trigger and then a number of frames after I hit the trigger. And so that's a great way of being able to capture these insects after they shoot across the screen. 4 or 5 hours now I've been working on this particular photo shoot. Patience, patience, patience. Still not done, still don't have like the perfect shot, but maybe in the next hour or so. Hope you enjoyed this little display of photography, of photographing a very difficult insect. I hope you have a little bit of appreciation for how difficult some of this photography is. It's basically a labor of love. You're striving for that perfect shot. Can you get it? Do the insects behave? Who knows? But till next time, I'm Ted Kinsman. Hope you enjoyed it.